Hello everyone. Welcome back to Naruto Fix. Today we have another interesting what if Naruto story, which is what if Naruto became the one man powerful enough to capture the hearts of every clan heiress. Part 1. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Now, without wasting any time, let's begin. The morning sun rose over Konohagakure. The village looked exactly the same as it always had. Merchants opened their shops. Children hurried toward the academy. Jonin prepared for missions. Everything felt ordinary, except destiny had already begun moving. And nobody noticed, not even Naruto Uzumaki. For years, the great clans of Konoha had lived by one unspoken rule. Protect the clan, strengthen the bloodline, choose heirs carefully. Every marriage, every alliance, every friendship, everything served the future of the clan. The heirs of the great families grew up carrying impossible expectations. The Hyuga clan demanded perfection. The Uchiha clan once demanded strength above everything. The Yamanaka clan valued intelligence and diplomacy. The Akamichi clan honored loyalty. The Nara clan respected wisdom. The Aburame clan treasured patience. Each clan believed its traditions were enough. Until one unpredictable blonde ninja quietly began changing every one of them. It started after the Fourth Great Ninja War. Peace finally returned. Naruto had become the hero of the shinobi world. But fame never changed him. Every morning, he still woke early, helped rebuild damaged houses, visited orphanages, trained academy students, shared ramen with anyone who looked lonely. He never asked for recognition. He never expected rewards. He simply helped. Again, and again, and again. One afternoon. Naruto was walking through the market carrying several heavy boxes for an elderly merchant. The old man smiled. "You've already helped me 3 times this week." Naruto laughed. "You'll probably need help next week too." Quote. The merchant burst into laughter. "You really never change." Naruto grinned. "I don't want to." Watching from a nearby rooftop, Hinata Hyuga quietly smiled. "He still helps everyone." Beside her stood her younger sister, Hanabi Hyuga. Hanabi crossed her arms. "I still don't understand him." Hinata blinked. He has the power to command armies. He could become Hokage tomorrow. He could ask for almost anything." Hanabi watched Naruto laugh with several children. Quote. "Yet he's carrying vegetables." Hinata smiled warmly. "That's Naruto." Meanwhile, inside the Hyuga compound, clan elders held an important meeting. One elder quietly placed a report on the table. It wasn't about enemies. It wasn't about politics. The title simply read, Naruto Uzumaki. An elder frowned. Again. Another nodded. Again. The report listed dozens of acts. Helping civilians. Training young shinobi. Resolving disputes peacefully. Strengthening relationships between villages. One elder slowly sighed. His influence continues growing. Hiyashi Hyuga remained silent. Finally, he spoke. "Influence earned through kindness lasts longer than influence earned through fear." Quote. The room became quiet. Elsewhere, inside the Yamanaka flower shop, Ino Yamanaka watched Naruto from the window. He had entered only to buy flowers. Not for himself. For the memorial stone honoring fallen shinobi. Ino walked over. "You buy flowers every month." Naruto smiled. "They deserve to be remembered." Ino looked down at the bouquet. White lilies. Simple. Elegant. No expensive arrangement. Just sincere respect. She quietly smiled. "You always remember everyone." Naruto laughed softly. "I try." Meanwhile, at training ground 10, Tenten finished training. She wiped sweat from her forehead. Then noticed Naruto helping younger shinobi repair damaged practice targets. No one asked him. He simply did it. One academy student bowed. "Thank you, Naruto-san." Naruto smiled. "Train hard." "I will." Tenten watched silently. "He doesn't even realize," she whispered, "how much people admire him." Quote. Days passed. Naruto never noticed anything unusual. He simply continued living, helping, laughing, protecting, moving forward. But around him, something subtle had begun to change. One evening, Kakashi invited Naruto to the Hokage office. Naruto entered. "You wanted to see me." Kakashi smiled beneath his mask. "Sit down." Naruto obeyed. Kakashi slid several reports across the desk. Naruto looked confused. "What are these?" "Read them." Naruto opened the first report. It described trade improvements between villages after his diplomatic visits. The second praised his work with academy students. The third came from clan leaders thanking him for helping settle disputes. Naruto scratched his head. "I don't understand." Kakashi laughed quietly. "Exactly." Naruto blinked. "Huh." Kakashi leaned forward. "You think you're only helping individuals?" Naruto nodded. "I am." Kakashi smiled. "No, you're changing entire clans." Silence. Naruto stared at him. "I never meant to." "I know. That's why it's working." Outside the office, several young women happened to pass by. Hinata, Ino, Tenten, Hanabi, each heading toward different destinations. None of them entered. None of them spoke. But all of them glanced toward the office door at the same moment. Almost as if drawn there without realizing why. Far away, inside the archives beneath Konoha, an elderly advisor quietly rolled up another report. He smiled faintly. "The hero of the Fourth Great Ninja War is becoming something even more dangerous." Quote. Another elder frowned. "Dangerous?" The advisor nodded. "Not because of his strength." He looked toward the village outside. "But because every future clan leader seems to trust him." The room fell silent. Because they understood the implication. If the heirs of every great clan placed their faith in one man, the balance of Konoha itself would begin to change. That night, Naruto climbed onto the Hokage monument. His favorite place. The village lights shimmered beneath the stars. He smiled peacefully. "I wonder what tomorrow will bring." Far below, several figures unknowingly looked toward the same monument. None of them realized it yet. But destiny had already begun weaving their lives together. Not through power, not through politics, but through the quiet, unwavering kindness of one blonde shinobi who had never once tried to win anyone's heart. And that was only the beginning. The following morning, the village awoke to another peaceful sunrise. Golden light stretched across the rooftops of Konoha. Merchants opened their stores. Academy students hurried toward class. Shinobi gathered at the mission hall. Everything looked ordinary, yet beneath that ordinary routine, small changes had already begun spreading throughout the village. Changes that all pointed toward one person. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto, as usual, had absolutely no idea. He was standing outside Ichiraku Ramen, helping Chuki unload heavy crates from a delivery cart. "Careful with that one, Naruto." "I got it." Naruto effortlessly lifted two large boxes onto his shoulders. Ayame laughed. "You know, you're probably the only hero who celebrates peace by carrying ramen supplies." Naruto grinned. "Somebody has to do it." Chuki smiled proudly. "You never changed." Naruto placed the final box inside the shop. "I don't think I want to." Several academy students happened to pass by. One little boy whispered, "That's Naruto-sama." Another immediately corrected him. "He told us to just call him Naruto-Nisan." The children waved enthusiastically. "Naruto-Nisan." Naruto waved back. "Morning." The children ran off laughing. Ayame quietly watched the scene. "So many people admire you now." Naruto scratched the back of his head. "I still don't really get why." Quote. Chuki chuckled. "That's exactly why they do." Meanwhile, inside the Hyuga compound, a morning training session had just ended. Hinata Hyuga gracefully finished her gentle fist forms. Nearby, Hanabi Hyuga lowered her stance. "You've been distracted lately." Hinata blinked. "Have I?" Hanabi nodded. "You keep smiling for no reason." Hinata immediately turned red. I do not." Hanabi folded her arms. "You do." Silence followed. Finally, Hanabi sighed. "I don't understand him." Hinata looked curious. "What do you mean?" Hanabi looked toward the village beyond the compound walls. "I've watched powerful shinobi before. They usually enjoy attention." Quote. "They enjoy praise. They enjoy being admired." She paused. Naruto ignores all of it. Hinata smiled softly. He isn't ignoring it. Hanabi tilted her head. He simply values people more than praise. Quote, for the first time, Hanabi found herself thinking about Naruto long after the conversation ended. Elsewhere, inside the Yamanaka flower shop, Ino Yamanaka arranged fresh flowers. A customer approached. I'd like something beautiful for my wife. Ino smiled professionally. Of course. As she prepared the bouquet, she remembered Naruto quietly buying flowers for the memorial. Not expensive flowers. Not impressive flowers. Just sincere ones. She smiled unconsciously. Her father, Inoichi Yamanaka, noticed immediately. You've smiled 3 times in the last 5 minutes. Ino blinked. Huh, he laughed. What's on your mind? Quote, nothing. Quote, really? She looked away. Quote, maybe I was just remembering something. Inoichi simply smiled. He didn't press further. At the same time, Training Ground 3 echoed with the sounds of metal striking metal. Tenten practiced with dozens of weapons. Each throw landed perfectly, yet her focus drifted. She remembered seeing Naruto stay behind after training yesterday. Everyone else had gone home. Naruto remained. Repairing damaged targets so the next group could use them. No audience. No recognition. Just quiet responsibility. Tenten lowered her kunai. Quote, he's strange. Meanwhile, Naruto accepted a D-rank mission. Cleaning a public park. Several genin groaned. Naruto smiled. Let's make it look amazing. Within minutes, he was picking up trash, repairing broken benches, planting flowers. The younger genin stared. One finally asked, Naruto-san, why are you working harder than the mission requires? Naruto looked around the park, then smiled. Because somebody's going to enjoy this place tomorrow. The genin blinked. But we'll never know who. Naruto laughed. Exactly. Hours later, an elderly couple walked through the newly cleaned park. The wife smiled. It's beautiful today. Her husband nodded. I wonder who cleaned it. Quote, Naruto was already long gone. Watching from the branches above, Shikamaru Nara sighed. Troublesome. Beside him, Choji Akamichi smiled. What is? Shikamaru looked toward Naruto. He doesn't realize it. Quote, realize what? People notice things like that. Choji nodded. They do. Shikamaru sighed again. And because he never asks for recognition, they respect him even more. That evening, a meeting was quietly held between several clan leaders. Not an official council, just a discussion. Hiyashi Hyuga, Inoichi Yamanaka, Shikaku Nara, several respected elders. The topic wasn't war. It wasn't politics. It was Naruto. One elder spoke first. His popularity continues increasing. Quote, another nodded. The younger generation listens to him naturally. A third frowned. Should we be concerned? Silence. Finally, Shikaku leaned forward. Concerned. He smiled faintly. No. Relieved. Quote, everyone looked toward him. Shikaku continued. A man who seeks influence is dangerous. A man who gains influence without seeking it usually deserves it. No one argued. Later that night, Naruto wandered through the quieter streets of Konoha after finishing another mission. The moon hung high above the village. As he passed a narrow alley, he noticed a small child struggling to reach a frightened kitten trapped on a low rooftop. Naruto didn't say a word. He simply climbed up, carefully rescued the kitten, then handed it back to the smiling child. Here you go. The child hugged the kitten tightly. Thank you. Naruto smiled. Take good care of your little friend. Quote, he continued walking before anyone else arrived. Unknown to him, Hinata had witnessed the entire moment from a nearby rooftop while returning from clan duties. She smiled softly. He really can't ignore someone who needs help. Quote, the next day, Kakashi assigned Team 7 a joint mission with several other squads. Naruto, Sakura, Sai, along with Ino, Shikamaru, Choji, Tenten, Neji, Lee, Hinata, and Kiba. The mission itself was simple. Escort supplies to several remote villages. Naruto immediately volunteered for the heaviest wagon. Choji laughed. You know I can carry that. Naruto grinned. Then let's carry it together. Choji smiled. Deal. Throughout the journey, Naruto quietly checked on everyone. He asked if Hinata needed a break after a steep climb. He helped Tenten retrieve scattered scrolls after one bag tore open. He repaired a damaged wagon wheel alongside Kiba. He carried extra water for Lee after an especially intense training session during camp. None of these moments were dramatic. Most people barely noticed them. Yet, the people involved did. That evening, the group rested near a quiet river. Tenten sat beside the campfire, sharpening a kunai. Ino quietly approached. You've been staring. Tenten blinked. At who? Ino smiled knowingly. Naruto. Tenten immediately looked away. I was not. Ino laughed. Relax. I'm not teasing. Tenten sighed. He's just. She searched for the right word. Different. Ino nodded. I know. He makes helping people look effortless. Neither of them realized. Hinata, sitting nearby, had overheard everything. She smiled quietly into her cup of tea. The following morning, the convoy reached the first remote village. The supplies were delivered successfully. Naruto noticed the local school had a damaged fence. Without hesitation, he grabbed a hammer. An elderly teacher hurried over. You don't have to do that. Naruto smiled. I've got a little time. Soon. Several others joined him. Lee repaired support beams. Choji carried lumber. Tenten hammered nails. Ino planted flowers along the entrance. By lunchtime, the school looked brand new. The village children surrounded the group. One little girl looked up at Naruto. Are you really the hero from the war? Naruto rubbed the back of his head. I helped. She smiled brightly. My teacher says heroes protect everyone. Naruto looked at the repaired school. Then smiled. I think anyone can be a hero. On the journey back to Konoha, the atmosphere felt lighter. Laughter echoed through the forest path. Even Sai quietly observed something unusual. He approached Sakura. I've been analyzing everyone's behavior. Sakura sighed. Should I be worried? Sai shook his head. No. But several clan heirs seem unusually comfortable around Naruto. Sakura blinked. She glanced toward the front of the group. Naruto was laughing with Choji, helping Kiba untangle Akamaru's leash, listening to Lee enthusiastically describe a new training method, encouraging Hinata after a difficult climb, talking naturally with everyone. No favoritism, no hidden motives, just genuine kindness. Sakura smiled to herself. I guess that's just who he is. Far away, inside the Hokage office, Kakashi closed another stack of reports. He looked out the window toward the village. I was worried Naruto would change after becoming a hero. He smiled beneath his mask. Instead, he reminded everyone else how to become better. Outside, the evening sun painted Konoha in shades of gold. Naruto laughed somewhere below with friends from every corner of the village. He still had no idea that the respect he earned each day wasn't built on fame. It was built on countless quiet moments. A helping hand, a kind word, a promise kept, a burden shared, and little by little, the heirs of Konoha's greatest clans found themselves admiring not the legend of Naruto Uzumaki, but the man behind it. None of them realized it yet, but destiny had already begun bringing their paths together. Not through obligation. Not through politics, but through the unwavering character of the one shinobi who treated every person, regardless of clan, status, or name, with the same kindness. Several days later, Konoha entered one of its busiest weeks of the year. The annual Founders' Festival was only days away. Merchants decorated the streets, children practiced performances, food stalls filled the market district. Even shinobi with demanding schedules found themselves helping prepare the celebration. As always, Naruto volunteered first. Naruto, a carpenter waved from the village square. We need help putting up the lanterns. Quote, I'm coming. Without hesitation, Naruto climbed onto the rooftops carrying bundles of colorful lanterns. He worked from sunrise until nearly noon. Whenever another volunteer became tired, Naruto quietly took over their work without saying a word. Below, several academy students watched him. He's been working since morning. Doesn't he ever get tired? Iruka smiled proudly. Oh, he gets tired. The children looked surprised. Then why doesn't he stop? Quote, Iruka looked toward Naruto. Because he always thinks someone else has already worked harder. Meanwhile, inside the Hyuga compound, Hiyashi observed Hanabi's morning sparring session. Normally, her attacks were sharp, precise, unwavering. Today, she hesitated twice. Hiyashi lowered his hands. Enough. Hanabi immediately bowed. Father, you've become distracted. She looked down. My apologies. Quote, Hiyashi studied her quietly, then asked, has something happened? Hanabi remained silent. Finally, she answered honestly, I've been thinking about, Naruto. Hiyashi wasn't surprised. Instead, he calmly poured 2 cups of tea. Sit. Hanabi obeyed. Hiyashi looked toward the village beyond the compound walls. When I first met Naruto, I judged him by appearances. I saw an unpredictable child. Quote, he smiled faintly. I was wrong. Hanabi listened carefully. Hiyashi continued. True strength isn't loud. It quietly changes the people around it. He looked at his daughter. And Naruto has done exactly that. Quote, Hanabi nodded slowly. I understand now. Elsewhere, inside the Yamanaka flower shop, Ino was preparing bouquets for the festival. An elderly woman entered. I'd like flowers for my husband's grave. Quote, of course. As Ino arranged the flowers, she remembered Naruto visiting the memorial every month. Always the same flowers. Always the same quiet respect. The elderly woman noticed Ino smiling. Thinking about someone. Quote, Ino immediately looked away. And no. The woman laughed kindly. Young hearts are easy to read. Ino covered her face. At the training grounds, Tenten practiced alone. Her weapons flew through the air with incredible precision. Every target was struck perfectly. Rock Lee suddenly appeared. Tenten. She stopped. What? Lee smiled brightly. I've discovered the reason for your recent improvement. She blinked. You have. Lee nodded dramatically. You've finally found proper motivation. Tenten narrowed her eyes. Quote, What motivation? Lee pointed toward the village. Naruto. Tenten threw a kunai. Lee barely dodged. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that. Quote, Lee laughed nervously. I appear to have touched a sensitive subject. Meanwhile, Naruto had absolutely no idea. He was currently helping an elderly woman repaint her fence. The old woman sighed. You really don't know how famous you've become. Quote, Naruto smiled awkwardly. I'm still just Naruto. She laughed. And that's exactly why everyone keeps talking about you. Naruto scratched his head. Quote, People are weird. That afternoon, Kakashi called Naruto to the Hokage office. You wanted to see me. Kakashi nodded. I have a special assignment. Naruto immediately became serious. What kind? Kakashi handed him a sealed scroll. You're leading a goodwill mission. Naruto blinked. Quote, Me. Yes. Naruto looked behind himself. Are you sure you don't mean someone else? Kakashi laughed beneath his mask. I've checked 3 times. It's definitely you. Naruto opened the scroll. The mission involved visiting several clan compounds. Not for politics. Not for military inspections. Simply to hear their concerns and strengthen cooperation after the war. Naruto looked confused. Wouldn't Shikamaru be better? Kakashi shook his head. They specifically requested you. Quote, Why? Kakashi smiled. You should ask them. Naruto's first visit. The Akamichi compound. Choji greeted him with his usual warm smile. Naruto. They spent hours talking with clan members. Not about battle. About rebuilding farmland. Food supplies. Helping smaller villages. Naruto listened carefully. He took notes. Asked questions. Never interrupted. Before leaving, the Akamichi elders bowed respectfully. Thank you for hearing us. Naruto immediately bowed even deeper. No, thank you for teaching me. The elders exchanged surprised glances. Most famous shinobi arrived believing they had all the answers. Naruto left believing he still had more to learn. The next stop, the Aburame compound. The atmosphere was calm, quiet, almost completely silent. Naruto patiently listened as the clan discussed preserving forests damaged during the war. Hours passed. Naruto never once looked bored. When the meeting ended, one Aburame elder spoke. "Your patience is appreciated." Naruto smiled. "You protected the village for generations. The least I can do is listen." Quote. Several members of the clan nodded almost imperceptibly. For them, that was high praise. Later, Naruto visited the Nara compound. Shikaku welcomed him personally. They spent the afternoon reviewing village maps, trade routes, security concerns, future infrastructure. At sunset, Shikaku leaned back. "You know." Naruto looked up. You ask interesting questions." Naruto scratched his cheek. "I do. You don't ask." Quote. "How do we become stronger?" "You ask. How do we make life easier for everyone?" Naruto smiled. "I guess. I've always liked helping people." Shikaku laughed quietly. "And that's exactly why people trust you." Quote. As Naruto left, Shikamaru caught up with him. "Hey." Naruto turned. "What's up?" Shikamaru shoved his hands into his pockets. "You know, I've been thinking. Dangerous." Shikamaru rolled his eyes. Quote. "Idiot." Naruto laughed. "So what were you thinking?" Shikamaru looked toward the village. "Every clan respects you now." Naruto blinked. Quote. "Really?" Shikamaru sighed. "You seriously don't notice anything?" Quote. Naruto smiled sheepishly. "I've been busy. I can tell." Shikamaru smirked. "But sooner or later, you're going to realize how much influence you've accidentally built." Naruto looked genuinely puzzled. "I just wanted everyone to get along." Shikamaru nodded. "I know. That's why it worked." The final visit of the day. The Hyuga compound. Naruto stood at the entrance. A servant welcomed him inside. Hinata greeted him with a warm smile. "It's good to see you." "You too." Hiyashi soon joined them. The meeting was formal at first. They discussed border patrols, joint training, academy improvements. Eventually, the official discussion ended. Tea was served. The atmosphere relaxed. Hiyashi quietly observed Naruto, then asked, "Naruto, yes, if tomorrow you became Hokage, what would be your first order?" Quote. The room fell silent. Even Hanabi became curious. Naruto thought carefully. Several long moments passed. Finally, he answered, "I wouldn't issue an order." Everyone looked surprised. Naruto smiled gently. "I'd spend my first day visiting every district." Hiyashi tilted his head. "Why?" "I'd want to understand what people need before deciding what they should do." Silence filled the room. Hiyashi slowly closed his eyes, then smiled. A wise answer. Hanabi quietly stared at Naruto. He hadn't answered like a warrior or a politician. He had answered like someone who genuinely cared. As Naruto prepared to leave, a little Hyuga child accidentally dropped several training scrolls. Without hesitation, Naruto knelt and helped gather every single one. The child bowed repeatedly. "Thank you." Naruto smiled. "Study hard." The child nodded enthusiastically. "I will." Hiyashi watched the entire exchange. Naruto treated the future heir of one of Konoha's greatest clans exactly the same way he treated every academy student. No special treatment, no hidden agenda, only kindness. That evening, the clan heads quietly gathered once more. This time, no reports were necessary. Hiyashi spoke first. "I understand now." Inoichi looked toward him. "Understand what?" Hiyashi looked out over Konoha. "Why the next generation respects Naruto. It isn't because he won the war." Quote. "It isn't because he defeated impossible enemies." He smiled faintly. "It's because he never makes anyone feel unimportant." The room became silent. Every clan leader reflected on those words. Because each had witnessed the same thing in different ways. Naruto remembered names, listened sincerely, helped without expecting repayment, celebrated other people's achievements before his own. Strength had earned him admiration. Character had earned him trust. And outside, completely unaware of the conversations taking place, Naruto was helping an old street vendor push a broken cart home while laughing about which ramen flavor was the best. The hero who could command the respect of every clan. Still believed he was simply helping a neighbor. And perhaps, that was the very reason the hearts of Konoha's future clan heirs continued drifting toward him. The Founders' Festival finally arrived. From the very first light of dawn, Konoha was alive. Colorful banners stretched across the streets. Lanterns swayed gently in the morning breeze. Food stalls filled every corner of the village. Children ran through the streets laughing while academy students prepared performances for the evening's celebration. Even shinobi returning from missions couldn't help smiling. For the first time in years, the entire village felt completely at peace. Naruto walked through the market carrying a stack of wooden beams on one shoulder. A carpenter waved excitedly. "Naruto, over here." Naruto laughed. "I'm coming." Without complaint, he spent the next several hours helping build festival booths. Whenever one task finished, he immediately found another. Repairing decorations, carrying supplies, helping elderly shopkeepers, lifting heavy carts. No one asked him. No one assigned him. He simply noticed where help was needed. Watching from a nearby rooftop. Kakashi quietly closed his book. Iruka appeared beside him. He started before sunrise. Kakashi nodded. And he probably won't stop until the festival ends. Iruka smiled proudly. He hasn't changed at all. Quote. Kakashi looked toward Naruto. No, he simply has more people noticing him now. Meanwhile, inside the Yamanaka flower shop, Ino carefully arranged dozens of bouquets for customers. Business was unusually busy. Every few minutes another villager entered. Then, the bell above the door rang. Naruto stepped inside. "Morning." Ino smiled automatically. "Morning, Naruto. What brings you here?" Naruto looked around thoughtfully. "I need flowers." Ino tilted her head. "For the festival." Naruto nodded. "But not for decoration." She looked curious. "For who?" Naruto smiled softly. "For the memorial." Silence. Ino quietly selected fresh white lilies. Naruto noticed. "Those are beautiful." She smiled. "They're your usual choice." Naruto laughed. "You remembered. You buy the same flowers every month." Naruto accepted the bouquet carefully. "I don't want anyone to be forgotten." Quote. For several moments, neither of them spoke. After Naruto left, Ino watched through the window until he disappeared into the crowd. Her father quietly walked over. "You forgot to charge him." Ino blinked. "What?" Inoichi pointed toward the counter. "The flowers." She looked down. Quote. "I did." Inoichi chuckled. "Interesting." Ino. Quote. "Don't." He laughed. "I didn't say anything." Elsewhere, at the Hyuga compound. Hanabi had finished another intense sparring session. She sat beneath a tree catching her breath. One of the younger Hyuga children approached. "Lady Hanabi, what is it?" The little girl smiled. "I saw Naruto-san helping grandfather carry rice this morning." Quote. Hanabi smiled faintly. "That sounds like him." The little girl clasped her hands excitedly. "He's really nice." Hanabi nodded. "Yes, he is." The child ran away happily. Hanabi leaned back against the tree. When did everyone start talking about him like that? She couldn't remember the exact moment. It had simply happened. Meanwhile, training ground 3. Tenten continued practicing with her weapons. This time, Neji approached. "You've been training longer than usual." Tenten lowered a kunai. "I have." Neji looked toward the village. "The festival starts in 2 hours." "I know. You should take a break." Quote. Tenten sighed. "Maybe." Neji remained silent for a while. Then unexpectedly asked, "Do you admire Naruto?" Tenten nearly dropped her weapon. What kind of question is that?" Neji answered calmly. "You've mentioned him 5 times this week." Quote. "Have I?" "Yes." She covered her face. Quote. "Great." Neji smiled almost imperceptibly. "You're not the only one." Tenten looked up. What? Neji quietly looked toward the village below. The younger members of every clan talk about him. They want to train like him. Act like him. Protect people like him. He paused. That influence isn't normal. Naruto, completely unaware of these conversations, was helping Chuki prepare extra tables outside Ichiraku. Ayame laughed. You've worked all morning. Naruto shrugged. The festival should be fun for everyone. Chuki smiled. So when exactly are you planning to enjoy it yourself? Quote. Naruto blinked. Quote. I hadn't thought that far. Ayame sighed dramatically. Hopeless. As evening approached, the festival officially began. Music echoed throughout the village. Lanterns illuminated every street. Families gathered together. Children played festival games. The atmosphere felt magical. Naruto finally managed to escape work. For approximately 30 seconds. Naruto. He turned around. An elderly woman struggled to carry several bags. Naruto immediately smiled. All help. Ayame watched from across the street. Quote. There he goes again. Later, Naruto finally stood beside one of the bridges overlooking the river. He sighed happily. This is nice. For the first time all day. There was silence. Then, footsteps approached. Hinata. Hinata smiled warmly. Hello, Naruto. You enjoying the festival? She nodded. I am. The two quietly watched dozens of floating lanterns drift along the river. Naruto smiled. They're beautiful. Hinata looked toward him instead of the lanterns. Quote. Yes. For several peaceful moments. Neither of them needed words. Elsewhere, Ino wandered through the festival carrying a small bag of festival snacks. She noticed Naruto standing on the bridge with Hinata. She smiled softly. Looks peaceful. She turned away without interrupting them. Not because she was upset. Because somehow, the moment felt too genuine to disturb. Nearby, Tenten happened to pass by with Lee and Neji. Lee enthusiastically pointed toward the fireworks stand. Tenten nodded absent-mindedly. Her attention briefly drifted toward Naruto laughing with Hinata. Lee noticed. Tenten. The fireworks are over here. Oh. She quickly followed. Neji silently observed everything, then smiled to himself. High above the festival, several clan leaders stood together watching the celebration. Hiyashi, Inoichi, Shikaku, Choza, others joined them. Below, Naruto moved through the crowd, stopping whenever someone needed help, helping children reach game prizes, catching a dropped lantern before it started a fire, helping an elderly man find his grandson, returning a lost purse without even checking what was inside. Shikaku quietly folded his arms. He hasn't spent 10 minutes enjoying the festival. Choza laughed. He's too busy making sure everyone else enjoys it. Hiyashi nodded thoughtfully. That is exactly why he continues earning everyone's respect. As darkness fully settled, the fireworks finally began. Brilliant colors exploded across the night sky. The entire village stopped to watch. Naruto stood near the center of the bridge. Children gathered around him. Some sat beside him. Others pointed excitedly at the sky. Naruto laughed together with them. No speeches. No recognition. No special seat reserved for the hero of the Fourth Great Ninja War. Just another villager, enjoying the moment alongside everyone else. Watching from different places throughout the festival, Hinata smiled quietly. Ino gently held the bouquet she had forgotten to put away after work. Tenten rested a hand on the railing overlooking the river. Hanabi stood beside her father. Each of them watched Naruto for different reasons. Yet all arrived at the same realization. His greatest strength wasn't the 9 tails, wasn't Sage Mode, wasn't the power that had saved the world. It was his heart. Because no matter how strong he became, no matter how respected he was, Naruto never looked down on anyone. Everyone mattered. Everyone deserved kindness. Everyone deserved hope. The final firework illuminated the sky. Gold, blue, crimson. The entire village erupted into applause. Naruto smiled brightly. What a great festival. He turned, only to find himself surrounded by friends from every corner of Konoha. Sakura laughed. There you are. Shikamaru yawned. Took us forever to find you. Choji handed Naruto a festival snack. Eat something. Hiba grinned. You've been working all day. Hinata smiled quietly. You deserve to relax. Quote. Ino stepped forward holding an extra candied apple. I accidentally bought two. Tenten shook her head with a smile. That excuse needs work. Everyone laughed. Naruto scratched the back of his head. I really have the best friends. The group smiled. None of them corrected him. Because to Naruto, that was all they were. Friends. He never considered clans, status, politics, or family names. He only saw people. And perhaps, that simple way of looking at the world was exactly why the future heirs of Konoha's greatest clans found themselves drawn toward him. Not because he sought their hearts, but because he had already earned their trust. Far away, in the Hokage office, Kakashi watched the festival from the window. He smiled beneath his mask. The village once searched for someone strong enough to unite everyone. He looked toward Naruto laughing with his friends below. It turns out, they were searching for him all along. The night ended beneath a sky full of fading fireworks. Yet the story of Naruto Uzumaki, and the countless hearts he would unknowingly inspire, had only just begun. Here's the next continuation of Part-1. Writing. The morning after the Founders' Festival, Konoha was quieter than usual. The colorful lanterns still hung above the streets. Shopkeepers slowly cleaned their stalls. Children excitedly talked about the fireworks they had seen the night before. Life had returned to normal. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. Naruto woke up later than usual. For once, he had actually exhausted himself. He stretched his arms and looked out the window. What a great festival. Then he smiled. I wonder who needs help today. Without wasting another minute, he got dressed and headed outside. The moment he stepped onto the street, an elderly woman waved at him. Naruto. He smiled. Good morning. My roof is leaking again. Naruto laughed. I'll be there after breakfast. Before he had even walked another 20 meters, a merchant called him over. My delivery cart lost a wheel. Naruto scratched the back of his head. I'll help with that too. Nearby, several academy students whispered, see, he can't even leave his house without someone asking for help. Quote. Another student smiled, but he never says no. Half an hour later, Naruto had already repaired the merchant's cart, fixed the old woman's roof, helped a little girl retrieve her kite from a tree, and carried groceries for 3 different families. Only then did he realize he hadn't eaten breakfast. His stomach growled loudly. Quote. Ramen. Meanwhile, inside the Hyuga compound, Hiyashi called both daughters into his study. Hinata and Hanabi quietly entered. You wished to see us, father. Hiyashi nodded. Sit. Both obeyed. He placed several reports on the table. Each one came from different clan leaders. The topic, Naruto Uzumaki. Hanabi blinked. They're discussing Naruto again. Quote. Hiyashi nodded. His influence has grown beyond missions. He opened one report. The younger members of several clans have begun volunteering in the village after watching Naruto. Another report. The academy has seen a sharp increase in students helping each other during training. Quote. Another. Merchants report that more shinobi have started assisting civilians without being assigned. Hiyashi looked at both daughters. Do you understand? Hinata smiled softly. He inspires people. Hiyashi nodded, without intending to. Elsewhere, the Yamanaka flower shop had become unusually busy. Ino tied another bouquet together. Her father looked toward the entrance. Naruto hasn't come today. Quote. Ino immediately answered. He probably got busy helping someone. She froze. Quote. Why did I answer so quickly? Inoichi smiled. You've started understanding his habits. Ino sighed. I guess. At training ground 7. Kakashi stood waiting. Naruto arrived a few minutes later. Sorry I'm late. Kakashi looked up from his book. You. Naruto laughed awkwardly. I helped repair 3 houses. Kakashi closed his book. Quote. Of course you did. Today's mission wasn't dangerous. Instead, Kakashi divided several younger genin into groups. Today's lesson isn't combat, it's leadership. The younger shinobi looked confused. Naruto looked curious. What do we do? Kakashi smiled. You'll each mentor a team. Naruto blinked. Me, yes. But I'm terrible at teaching. Kakashi laughed quietly. Let's test that. Naruto's team consisted of 3 Nervous Academy graduates. None of them had much confidence. One constantly apologized. Another doubted every decision. The third barely spoke at all. Naruto smiled. All right, we're going to start simple. One student raised a hand. What jutsu are we learning? Naruto shook his head. None. Huh, we're learning to trust each other. The students exchanged confused looks. Naruto divided them into pairs. Then gave each person a blindfold. One partner guides, the other listens. Immediately, the exercise became chaotic. Students walked into trees, tripped over rocks, complained constantly. Naruto never laughed. Instead, he patiently encouraged them. Try again. You almost had it. Good job. Better. Little by little, the teams improved. By afternoon, they could cross the training field without mistakes. Kakashi watched quietly from a nearby tree. He smiled beneath his mask. He isn't teaching techniques. He's teaching confidence. During lunch, one nervous student approached Naruto. Can I ask something? Sure. How do you become as strong as you? Naruto thought for a moment. Then smiled. I stopped comparing myself to everyone else. The student blinked. What do you mean? Naruto looked toward the sky. When I was your age, I always wanted to catch up. I thought strength meant being better than everyone. He laughed softly. But I was wrong. The students listened carefully. Strength means becoming a little better than yesterday. Silence followed. Those simple words stayed with every one of them. Later that afternoon, the exercise ended. Kakashi gathered everyone together. So, the youngest student smiled brightly. I finally trusted my teammates. Another nodded. I wasn't scared anymore. The quietest student looked toward Naruto. Thank you. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. You guys worked hard. Kakashi smiled. No, they learned because someone believed in them. Naruto blinked. I just encouraged them. Kakashi looked at him. Exactly. As Naruto walked home, he passed through the market. A group of children immediately surrounded him. Naruto-Nisan, can you play with us? Naruto laughed. I've got a little time. For the next hour, he helped them build tiny wooden bridges across a stream. They pretended to defend Konoha from imaginary invaders. Naruto intentionally lost every game. The children celebrated loudly. We won. Naruto dramatically fell onto the grass. I'm defeated. Everyone laughed. Nearby parents smiled. One mother whispered, he makes every child feel important. Another nodded. That's a rare gift. As sunset approached, Naruto quietly climbed onto the Hokage monument. His favorite place. The village stretched below him. Peaceful, warm, alive. He sat near the edge, thinking, not about becoming stronger, not about becoming Hokage, simply about tomorrow. I hope everyone has a good day. Behind him, soft footsteps approached. Naruto turned. Hinata. She smiled gently. I thought I'd find you here. Naruto laughed. I come here whenever I need to think. She walked beside him. Together, they watched the village lights slowly appear. Neither of them spoke for several minutes. Finally, Hinata quietly asked, Naruto, why do you always help everyone? Naruto smiled. I don't know. He looked toward the village. I guess. I remember what it felt like when nobody helped me. The evening breeze drifted across the monument. Naruto continued. If I can stop even one person from feeling that way, then it's worth it. Hinata looked at him. Her smile grew warmer. You really haven't changed. Naruto laughed. I hope I never do. Far below, the lights of Konoha shimmered like countless stars. Unseen by Naruto, several people across the village were telling stories about him at that very moment. Children spoke of the kind hero who played with them. Merchants spoke of the young man who refused payment for helping. Clan elders spoke of the shinobi who listened before speaking. Young heirs spoke of the man they wanted to become more like. Naruto himself knew none of it. He simply looked toward tomorrow, wondering who might need a helping hand next. And with every quiet act of kindness, the respect he inspired within Konoha's greatest clans continued to grow stronger than ever before. Here's the next continuation of Part-1. Writing. The following week, the peaceful rhythm of Konoha continued. Mission requests increased. Training grounds became busier. The academy welcomed a new class of students eager to become shinobi. And as always, Naruto found himself in the middle of everything. Not because anyone ordered him. Because he simply couldn't ignore people who needed help. Early that morning, Naruto was already at Training Ground 7. Shadow clones spread across the field. Some practiced Rasengan, others refined taijutsu. Another group focused on chakra control by walking across the nearby river. After nearly 3 hours, every clone disappeared. Memories flooded back into Naruto's mind. He wiped the sweat from his forehead. I'm getting closer. Before he could continue training, a familiar voice interrupted him. Training before breakfast again. Quote. Naruto turned around. Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi smiled beneath his mask. You'll wear yourself out. Naruto laughed. I've got plenty of energy. Kakashi looked at the dozens of craters covering the field. I noticed. Meanwhile, inside the Hokage office, several clan leaders had gathered once again. Hiashi Hyuga, Inoichi Yamanaka, Shikaku Nara, Choza Akamichi, Shibi Aburame. The discussion centered on the future of Konoha. Shikaku unfolded a large map. Our younger generation will eventually become the next leaders of every major clan. Everyone nodded. Hiashi quietly added, and those future leaders already share one thing in common. Quote. Inoichi smiled knowingly. They all trust Naruto. Choza laughed. Even my clan's children won't stop talking about him. Shibi calmly adjusted his glasses. Influence created through genuine respect is difficult to measure. Silence followed. Then Hiashi spoke again. The question isn't whether Naruto has influence. The question is, what kind of future that influence will create. Elsewhere. The academy held its weekly practical exercises. Iruka watched several students practicing shuriken throws. One young boy missed every target. Frustrated, he threw his last shuriken onto the ground. I'll never be good enough. Naruto happened to be walking past. He quietly picked up the shuriken. Mind if I try something? The boy nodded weakly. Naruto walked behind him. He adjusted the child's stance. Moved his elbow slightly. Relaxed his shoulders. Don't fight the throw. Guide it. The boy tried again. Thunk. The shuriken struck the outer ring. His eyes widened. I hit it. Naruto smiled. I knew you could. Quote. The boy looked confused. But you barely know me. Naruto laughed softly. You don't have to know someone to believe in them. Iruka quietly smiled from across the field. Still the same Naruto. Quote. By afternoon, news of the little incident had already spread through the academy. Not because of the successful throw. Because Naruto had spent almost an hour encouraging every student who wanted advice afterward. Some learned better balance. Others improved chakra control. Several simply gained confidence. When Naruto finally left, the training field felt completely different. Students weren't competing anymore. They were helping one another. Nearby, Hanabi had been observing everything during a Hyuga patrol. She watched Naruto patiently correct mistakes. Praise improvement. Celebrate even the smallest success. Not once did he criticize anyone harshly. She quietly whispered to herself. Father was right. He changes people. That evening, Naruto received another mission. This time, it wasn't dangerous. The mission involved escorting representatives from several clans to inspect farmland outside the village. Naruto accepted immediately. The next morning, the group departed. Among the representatives were members of the Hyuga, Yamanaka, Nara, Akamichi, and Aburame clans. The atmosphere felt formal at first. Everyone discussed harvests, trade routes, irrigation. Naruto mostly listened, occasionally asking simple questions. Will this help the farmers? Can the roads be made safer? Quote, do the smaller villages have enough supplies? The elders exchanged subtle glances. Most shinobi asked how to improve military strength. Naruto asked how to improve ordinary lives. Halfway through the journey, dark clouds gathered overhead. Rain began falling heavily. The dirt road quickly turned into thick mud. One wagon carrying farming equipment became stuck. Several shinobi attempted to move it. Nothing happened. Naruto smiled. Let's all push together. Instead of lifting it himself, he waited until everyone gathered. Ready. 1, 2, 3. The wagon rolled free. The elderly farmer laughed happily. We actually did it. Naruto grinned. See, much easier together. Shikaku quietly observed from nearby. He could have moved it alone. Choza nodded. But then everyone else would have just watched. Later. The group stopped at a small farming village. Several homes still showed damage from the war. Without being asked, Naruto created dozens of shadow clones. Some repaired fences. Others cleared blocked irrigation channels. Another group helped children gather scattered firewood before another storm arrived. The clan representatives exchanged silent looks. None of this work appeared in the mission description. Naruto simply saw problems. And solved them. A young farmer approached him. Naruto-san. Yes, we don't have much money. But please accept this. The farmer offered a small basket of fresh vegetables. Naruto smiled warmly. You should keep them. We grew extra this season because of your help. Naruto thought for a moment. Then accepted only one tomato. This is enough. The farmer looked surprised. Only one. Naruto laughed. If I take everything, what will your family eat? The farmer stood speechless. As sunset approached,